Welcome back to Strength Cultures Podcast, number one in the hearts, number one in the charts. Just quickly checking in before the start of this podcast to let you know that we are now offering the first month on the training app is free, and that is exclusive to our podcast listeners. Inside our training app, we have a bunch of programs and programming streams, things like power building for those looking to get jacked, get strong, but also lose some weight and actually train with some high volume in the gym. We also have power lifting, high and moderate frequency, as well as a bunch of strength and conditioning or hybrid style programs. As well as all the programs, we also have a bunch of educational videos, things like anatomy, nutrition, lifestyle, recovery. All of these things are built into the app to make sure that you are equipped with the understanding and knowledge needed to continue to push your training past your initial limits. And I just want to let you know that the entire experience is completely free. Free programming, free education, and free access to us in the Discord for form check and any questions you have related to training. Use the code podcast through the first link down below. Otherwise, let's get into the show.
It's a fad.
What are you fired up for, Charles?
Because I hate that people say the hybrid training is a trend. Pisses me off because one, it's not a trend. We have just jacked it off other people. That we were not the people that came up with the name hybrid or anything. And everything that I've done when it comes to fitness, I've done for a long period of time. I powerlifted fucking 6 years.
That was a trend, though.
It was a trend. I played football for 15 years, and now I honestly will be doing the. I will be training. I'll be an old motherfucker still training, and I'll still be doing all this shit. Whether it's like so, I just got annoyed when I saw trend. Trend. I hate the word trend. Fucking everything. Because you know what? There's too many fucking trends. And
what about trendy?
Trendy. I'm
about
trendy. You look trendy.
Also,
trendy today.
It depends if your runners are good, then it's trendy.
Yeah, exactly.
Fresh kicks.
Also, we have been talking about conditioning and pushing multiple qualities for years. Yeah. Like during COVID, we're doing it. Before that,
you were.
Yeah,
I went for a few bike rides during COVID.
Yeah. And then also, I think if you take hybrid, the word out of it, like
it's just strength and conditioning.
Jamie and I were strength and conditioning coaches before powerlifting coaches. Like you were, I was, and that's as hybrid as it gets, I think. So it's just strength and conditioning. I think now the hybrid, like if we're going to be like pinpoint with the discussion, hybrid is pushing strength and endurance at the same time.
Performance
outcomes at both the same time. And then how does Viata differentiate it from like concurrent training? Like if you talk about concurrent training, and even this, I think like it's just confusing the words. Like I look at this concurrent guys as like Angus right now. Like concurrent train everything, absolutely everything, speed, power, pliers, absolutely everything. And even then he talks about it as like concurrent is not training, Viata, like and looking at other qualities to maintain still. I still don't think Angus looks like that. I think it's just progress everything. But like I don't know. There's just all these weird fucking things. Hybrid is endurance and strength. I think it's been going around for a long time. We've not been just pushing it for 3 months. On trend, this, that. I don't know. We're pretty trendy, but so I'll take it.
It's nice. We're trendy.
Yeah. We just float with the breeze.
I would say
just wait till the next trend rolls in. We'll be flooding away. Yeah.
I remember when we used to laugh. Jamie and I used to laugh at people that wanted to run.
You played footy for like 10 years.
But so when we got into the power, when I got more into the strength and powerlifting, I did go a bit more elitist.
Oh, a gimp.
A gimp, yeah. A gimp. We used to like people want to run. I could never understand why and I wanted to run, but yeah. Hey, it's nothing wrong with saying you're wrong, or not. You're wrong. You've changed my mind. I've changed my mind.
I think
changed my mind.
You're not a
no, I feel like you get shunned for changing your mind.
You do, and it's like, oh, you've quit. You've given up on what you were previously doing. It's like, why can't you just do something different?
And that's why actually the Bryce Lewis thing. I feel like that's the I don't know. Someone so big in the industry has publicly come out and said, "I'm feeling this. I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah, it is. Before we get into the Bryce thing, I just want to say that I think a lot of people who are in a very niche pursuit. So powerlifting, I would put as a niche pursuit. It's a small area of the total of what health and fitness, strength training, and all of that sort of like anywhere we go. And if you say, "Oh, I'm powerlifting on the weekend," people still go, "Oh, how much do you lift? Like curl or snatch the bar over the head?" Like people just don't know what powerlifting is. It is a niche pursuit, but for you to follow that for your whole life and not just you being it's not
Just
that
anyone.
it's a trend. Anyone to follow that for even just like we've seen it with being in it now for like 6 years. The cycle of people that come in and out of the sport, 2 or 3 years, I think would probably be a good tenure in powerlifting.
Did you
See
see
Alex
Alex
Hayes?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
We're syncing up over here. Yeah, Alex Hayes.
You both had your creatine?
You go. You said it.
Alex Hayes is your mate.
I'll go if neither of you go. Come on.
He, did you see it as well? He
saw
put
it
up
as
a thing that his
No, I'm your
first
mate
junior
too,
nats-
Alex. I know you're listening, brother.
His first junior nats in 2015, he went through he put up comparing his lifts from back then, but then he went through the whole thing and he said there's only 5 people still lifting. And it was like Hung Dan Pham, Chad, what's his last name? I don't know.
Chad Odyssey.
Chad Odyssey,
There's,
Alex,
JP
JP Kaki,
Floggle-
and Floggle Woggles.
Yeah. There's some fucking
Big
strong
names.
lifters.
That's the thing.
Holy
It's
shit.
That's the thing. If you hang around for a
that's
while,
like
you're
the
probably going to be
cream of
pretty
the
strong.
crop.
But what it's saying is that it takes a long time.
Yeah,
It does take a long time.
But also, the turnover is it's always going to be there because it's such a niche. Whereas if you just take one little step out and view it and this is what you've been singing from the hills for fucking years now, is like it's just one area of this whole global strength and conditioning, health and fitness. When you just take a little step back, all of a sudden you can still pursue strength training, whether it be squat, bench press, and deadlift, along with other. It's not a trend. You're just following the interests of what you're doing at the moment.
And if we zoom out and like look at it at a bigger picture, like obviously all of us, we work in health and fitness. We're here to help people stay in shape, get strong, be fit, all these type of things. Like it's only a benefit if we can show people that you don't have to go about things one way for the rest of your life, because you'll see it so much. People will be hell-bent on powerlifting for a couple of years, and then when either they hit a plateau or their interest wanes, or maybe they have an injury or something, they go from being super committed to their training to not training at all, and they don't even train in the gym.
That's me.
But our goal should be, all right, find a pursuit that you like, but the goal should be, how do we train forever? How do we train for 20 years? How do we train for 10 years?
Keep working on your health and
exactly.
fitness,
One, because it's
not
just
one
good for you,
component.
but two, it's just you're going to get more out of it that way versus going hard for 2 years. Oh, I want to hit that record. How can I be strong for a 23-year-old, or all this shit that people do that really, super narrow focus. Just train, man. Go after something. Niche down on something, but then also realize you can change, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong
Allow
with
yourself to just enjoy what training has to offer.
Yeah, and like there's nothing wrong with it from like, I don't know, I feel like the self-pressure, almost talking about it solely from like an emotional standpoint. Like there's nothing wrong. You can detach and whatever else. But if we're going to talk about it from like an objective fitness progression standpoint too, I think people are so scared that if they do pivot, they will not make progress or they'll lose all their progress. And like, I don't know, I look at it now with my ankle, and like I broke my ankle, but I kept training. I kept training in some capacity. Like through COVID, it was more hybrid focus. I wasn't really focused on stuff. Then I did this little bodybuilding stint and kept pushing weights. Broke my ankle, didn't train for 6 months, came back full-blown conditioning with like a little bit of SBD, and I'm about to PB lifts. Like they won't be massive PBs compared to if I was pushing SBD hard, but it's literally been pivot on pivot on pivot on pivot on pivot. Like I would like bigger PBs, you know what I mean? But I'm still fucking hitting PBs.
still at
also,
all-time
here's the
strength.
thing,
Still
though.
all-time strength and all-time, you know what I mean? Like, and this is, all right, n=1, whatever the fuck, like, I argue that. But it's just like, I think for me and my pursuit, it's not optimal for maximal performance gains, but I've kept training in some capacity and kept progressing. And I think there's, like, I've been emotionally more invested in training because I haven't felt locked in, but you can still make that progress. It's not just like, just keep doing it and you'll, enjoy training, health and fitness, you won't die, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, at the end of the day, we're performance coaches, we're strength and conditioning coaches. It's still like our, what is it? Like, not our worth as coaches, but like,
It's our goal is to get you objectively
Better.
Exactly. And if we're not doing that, we're missing the mark as coaches. Like that is literally our one goal, to get you better objectively. And I don't think that pivoting is going to stop you from doing that.
What I was going to say is with you, because obviously I think you will continue for as long as you train to be someone who wants to attack multiple things. I don't think you're ever going to be like, nah, fuck cardio, I just want to be strength training. You're never going to do that. But give it now 2 years, 5 years, you still will make more progress than the people that narrow down, only focus on optimizing their training or optimizing their powerlifting, and then they quit in 2 years. Because you'll train for another 5 years, another 10 years, maybe in 10 years,
you'll never stop training.
you'll just keep making progress. And that's, maybe you're not going to beat everyone, but you will get the best results that you can get because you stay in the game, you stay in the gym, you do something. The other thing I was going to say is, in terms of like, finding enjoyment, like for me, a couple of years ago, I did bodybuilding type training for basically 2 years straight. It was a good stint. It was a good challenge. I learned stuff, but I can tell you, if that was the only way I could train, I would not train. I just got, at one point, it just didn't do it for me. I need to be lifting heavy to get that satisfaction out of training. I enjoyed the challenge, but if that was the only way you could train, I wouldn't train. I'd probably fall off the wagon and do something else. Similarly, there's probably people who lifting heavy, and you fall into this category, it just doesn't do it for them. If that's the only thing they can do, they're probably just going to fall off the wagon. So you just have to allow yourself to find the way or the approach that is enjoyable, because you're going to keep training if that's the case.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Alex Hormozy had a really cool view of it. He put it in the context of marriage and business, but I guess training and health and fitness would be the same, is that we're playing an infinite game and there should not be an end goal. It's the goal should just be to continue to play the game. Yeah. So when you view health and fitness from that perspective, if you just niche down and pigeonhole and box yourself, eventually you'll get to a point where it no longer stimulates you. You don't feel that sort of fire to go to the gym. This is exactly what happened to me, but like fire to go to the gym. There's no passion in your training. You just rock up and you go through the motions. You almost feel sad doing it. You're like, I used to love this so much, and it no longer ignites any feeling of like satisfaction or fun or any of that. Like, it's a shit place to be,
100%.
but that's because you've constrained your outcomes so finite in this process of what health and fitness should be. So is it a trend? No, it's not. It's just our interests as a group of coaches, but also just as a business, as individuals and all of that. It's just, we're just following the next thing that inspires us and makes us want to actually continue this process of what we do.
And that we also see happens to resonate with our clients too. Like if we're finding that this kind of style is enjoyable for our clients, well, fucking oath. Just like there would have been a time when you guys, started to include powerlifting because it was a fun thing that added to your clients' training. And it's the exact same thing now. We see that people get more out of their training when they have these different goals to work towards.
People don't see also that I lost clients because of it, because of the pivot. Like, there was a handful of people that left, which is fine. I didn't want to be that that niche powerlifting coach that's work on all these little specific things, get your elbows in the right position, get the protractor out. I don't want to do that. No, but seriously, I didn't want to do that. So that's fine. They can go work with those people that do want to do that, because that's not me. But what I did find was that there was a handful of people that I didn't even expect to come out of the woodwork and really resonate with the message and be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And like, a classic example is Adam, who's doing high rocks. I never pictured him like that. I never thought he was that interested. Like, I just never thought that. Maybe just didn't come up in conversation or whatever. And maybe then we start talking about it more, and he goes, oh, actually, I've been thinking about doing this and I want to do that. And he does. I think he wants to get back into powerlifting at some point, but he'll go back to powerlifting with a rejuvenated perspective and probably have the hunger to put another 6 months or 12 months into it. Whereas if he just kept going and going, he'd probably end up very similar to where you were. And
yes, there is that survivorship bias that, there'll be those few people who that works for. But statistically speaking, if you like try and put yourself in one spot, you're probably going to fall off the wagon. It's just the fact of the matter. It
Especially
happens
as a fucking,
to everyone.
as amateurs, man. Like, by amateurs, you know what I mean? Like, but by amateurs, I'm not meaning like a shit lifter. I mean like not getting paid.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's what I took it as. So I always forget that there's no money in this sport.
Yeah,
there's no money in this sport.
What are you getting at? Like, this is not that noble a pursuit, bro. Like, you're not getting paid.
I'm going to war, bro.
Yeah, like, but you're going to war. Yeah, true. Like, you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid. Like, this is not like, you're not a top level athlete that is getting paid for this, like millions or even like hundreds of thousands.
Even thousands.
You have to, what's the word? Like, you have to sustain the mundane. You
But
know
also,
what I mean? Like,
forego enjoyment due to the pursuit. If that
Bro, you're
does
paying
it for you,
for this.
if
You're literally paying for it.
if that does it for you and you enjoy that pursuit, 100%.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to enjoy yourself. And it's funny, I've been trying to like write a post, and I haven't been able
hate
to.
the word enjoyment.
I haven't been able to. Yeah, it's real bad. Yeah,
Like,
but I've been trying to like find a way to put it. But like, I think we all would identify as this, and a lot of our clients would, is that we're average Joes. And I keep coming back to this word, but it's like, it's not a bad thing. Like, yes, we all train hard. We have goals. We work towards those goals. But at the end of the day, we realize this is just a hobby we do. Like, we care about our training, but if things don't go well, it's not the end of the world. This isn't our identity, and we're willing to try new things. We're not so hell-bent on this one pursuit that we will sacrifice everything. I won't. I'm not going to sacrifice everything to reach my goals because they're not that important. They're important to a point, but also other things are important in life too, you know? Like,
for sure. I don't know. I feel like people hear the word enjoyment. They hear the word enjoyment and they're like, oh, I'm destined to make no gains. Mate, you pulled 255 double the other day. Like, you're going to pull 300 conventional fucking around. Like, this is the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a level of detachment that I think's healthy for performance.
Charlie is the best. Charlie is the best example of that. And people won't believe this if I say it, but for years, Charlie legitimately doesn't care if he gets stronger. He rocks up. It's the truth though. Like, Charlie rocks up routinely, trains at, you know, fucking the amount of times he needs to train per week, works reasonably hard.
Yeah.
If he gets stronger, yeah, he's kind of happy. But if he doesn't get stronger, he also doesn't care that much. But what has he done that most people don't do? He stayed in the fucking game consistently for years, and he hasn't let losing a PB fucking ruin his world. But he stays in the game versus these people who put their identity on hitting a 3 times bodyweight deadlift. When they don't get there in the time that they wanted to, they fall off the wagon, and they don't get to where Charlie's gone because they didn't actually.
And then you're
hunt the
stronger
pursuit for
than
long enough.
fucking 95% of the population.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't always like that though. To be fair, so I was early on. I was very like fixed on the number, but I just realized it was making me happy. I was like, fuck. So I detached from that. Like, my biggest thing was, what is lifting this lift? What's it going to change in my life? Like, what is it going to change?
You'll get heaps of likes on Instagram if you get a sick PB.
If the lighting's good.
What's it going to change in my life? It's not going to.
We told Didier off for his side angles, bro.
Yeah, apparently I film bad.
You film shit as for engagement.
Look,
just side on it.
There was some mad videos the other night. What was going on at like 9 p.m. on Sunday or something?
Oh, wait, I don't know.
Was that
9 p.m. Sunday?
That was Donny.
Did you guys like...
That was Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, Deuce, you showed Deuce how to do really good videos too.
Yeah, what was going on? There was just like some creative shit happening.
It was on the gym floor and he had his camera. And then
Donnie did a
Didier
full
was
day.
about to pull fucking 250 double and he had his like iPhone. No, he had the iPhone set up on like a can on the floor. And like, Didier, what are you doing, bro? Like, this you got to if you're pulling 250 plus, you got to have it on a sick angle and at minimum. And Anthony broke the camera out, and
It looked mad.
We've got good engagement.
You
so it
got
worked.
good engagement.
You got to show me.
Put
how
on
to-
the
Sorry, coach.
Put on the
show me
Steve's
how to make
lights.
those videos on the phone better.
But yeah, you were saying about like detaching from
No side
like,
on angles.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the right answer is for it or how it like, because I'm not a psychologist, but that's what helped me. Like I don't know. That's a point. It's like, this doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. If I deadlift 270 or 280, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change anything about my life or my character.
But that didn't stop you from rocking up and hitting your
I
sessions.
still
though.
train
You
because
still
I like
train.
training. But then I
Exactly.
got to a point too where I started to hate just powerlifting because I am enjoying it now that there's a bit of diversity in my training. But even with nationals last year, I was so detached from it. I probably had a very unideal 48 hours beforehand, but I just did the best, that I.
It's a healthy level of detachment. I
Yes.
think people can still listen to this and be like, "Oh, these guys don't give a shit." It's like you still care about hitting a PB.
I still rock up 4
You
days
still
a
care
week.
about making progress. It's just not that it's like
All-consuming.
It's not all consuming. If I do or don't make this, it is what it is. Like sad, like it is that, and like it's
It
just the
is.
consistency. Like you're giving yourself a chance to be consistent by not having it fucking be all consuming. And like, if I don't hit this, I'm gonna cry tonight. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like,
But it also, I don't know, it comes with life experience too. Like, it just shit happens. I'm older now. I'm 30, and there's stuff that's happened to. Well, I'm old wizard.
Oh, no.
There's stuff that has happened to me, friends around me that are just way more important, or I view as important.
puts everything in
than
perspective.
missing a lift or not getting stronger. Like, you know, I've noticed. We're at the age of everyone's having kids, like how hard it is for some people to have kids and stuff. And I've noticed that, and that might happen to us too. Lifting them, it doesn't matter. I've had deaths happen, like grandfather passed. It doesn't, like,
life and that.
bad breakups.
It's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
Yeah.
You're lifting weights, enjoy it, have fun, go with the flow. Yeah.
Don't be
And look,
afraid to try new
when
things.
when I was 22, 23, I was probably the same. Fucking
Yeah.
tied up in the identity of it. So it is, I think it's a normal part of the process. Sure, if you speak to Alex Hayes, someone we're talking about, 8 years in the game, he would be also he's a dad now, very detached. Like, he knows there's more important things. I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but I know him well enough to know that he would also feel the same. You just rock up, you do the work.
We'll get Hazy on when we go to Sydney.
Yeah, we'll get Hazy on.
Hazy and Chrissy.
But yeah, I'm sure you speak to him too. He's also, 30, bit older, been doing it a long time. You're detached from it.
If you enjoy the way in which we view and talk about training, I'm going to assume that you'd probably also enjoy the programming and the strategies we use for our clients and athletes here at Strength Culture. You can get free access to all of our programs by using the code podcast through the first link down below, as well as a whole bunch of educational videos where we help you understand and better apply the things that we talk about in the podcast. Again, first link down below, podcast as the code, and your first month is completely free. He also loves LeBron James.
He loves LeBron.
Fucking oath. We love LeBron lovers.
Us in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
12:30 today. 12 o'clock today.
We'll put it on the
Lakers,
TV. We'll
GSW.
put it on the TV downstairs.
I'm absolutely going to fucking
While we train.
slam
I think
it.
I'm buying a Jimmy Butler jersey.
How good is Jimmy Buckets,
Right,
man?
He's the sickest. Have you heard the Minnesota Timberwolves story when he was at the Timberwolves? This is the funniest story. So Jimmy Butler, he was playing at the Timberwolves, and I think he was trying to like renegotiate a contract or some shit, or he just was like sick of all the players on the team. Like he's got that dog.
He's got that dog.
I've got a 90s Bull jersey with Butler on the back.
Really?
Yeah. I bought it when it was my NBA phase. That's 2016.
That's mad. He's the sickest player, and like when he was at Chicago Bulls, Chicago, he had some dogs with him. Yeah. And then when their playoff run finished, I think he went to Timberwolves after that. And there was like some younger players, top draft picks, like real quality, but they just didn't have that dog. Like they were just passive. And he rocked up. He wasn't rocking up to any training camp. Nothing. Like he was just like, nah, I need to squeeze these guys out of some dollars or something. He rocked up late, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna play like our games. Except they've got their first team, their starters, their second team, and then their G League team. Yep. And they just roll through that. So they got their five, whatever. And they're like, all right, starters versus G League. And then Jimmy's like, nah. he's like, I'm playing with G League. And then it was just him and all the G League players versus the starters.
And they would have won.
And Jimmy won. Jimmy beat them single-handedly. And they're like, I watched it on a podcast. They're like, he was playing the right way, though. It wasn't just shooting. Like, he was just facilitating. He was defending hard. It was doing this. Beat him. And then he was wearing like his tracksuit still. And then he like takes his tracksuit off. After the game, he apparently was playing with a rollie on as well.
Oh, my God.
And he had the Minnesota cut out and his jersey, his shorts, and then he beats him, like he lost it at the GM. He's like, y'all fucking need me. Whatever. Runs out. The starters beat the next team, and then they're like, all right, we need to go get Jimmy back and play him again. Like, we need to get him, because they realize, like, this is not how it should be. Jimmy's gone. Whatever, they finish training off. They go to the rooms to go shower and whatever else, and they see Jimmy Butler live on ESPN in an interview with fucking Rachel Nichols saying, he's like, yeah, I beat them, but they're good players and whatever else. Like, what the fuck?
So there's not a theory. What is it? There's a conspiracy that Jimmy Butler's dad is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So apparently Jimmy's dad left.
Yeah.
Like when he was, I don't even know if he was around when he was born. Like I feel like
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, well, and that Jordan has paid off like everyone to keep it quiet. So they've done like face matching and stuff, and he looks
like
very
Jordan than his
similar
sons.
to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And apparently there's like a rumor from Jordan's side that he's got a son, and like that's the genes of Michael Jordan.
Surely they can do a DNA test.
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. He's a heavy man. He was homeless. He wasn't like a top draft pick either. Like,
hustled.
He just hustled. And this whole Miami Heat team has got like the most undrafted players in the whole NBA.
How do you get into the NBA if it's not through the draft?
I don't know, they work their way into fucking G League or some shit like that, and then just go from there up the ranks. But I could be wrong there, but I'm assuming
that's an Alex Hayes
is.
question.
Yeah,
that's an Alex Hayes.
We're about to get corrected if that was wrong.
Yeah. I'm not going to claim I know 100%. That's an assumption. But yeah, no, they're just dogs. They talk about Heat culture, like the Miami Heat culture. They're just like all about being mutts, just calling each other out when they need to.
That's
Was it that Bam Adebayo is like It's like Jimmy's an asshole, but we all assholes. It's like fucking oath, man. Like that's sick.
Dogs.
They're just dogs.
Got that dogs.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
So tough.
His he like his percentage improvement in the playoffs is like significant.
Insane.
Like it's crazy. Like he's like, season averages compared to playoffs.
Are they playing now? 12:30.
The nicknames for these players.
they might have played this
No, I think they've just finished. They're playing the Knicks at the moment. The nicknames are so funny. It's like Jimmy G Buckets, Jimmy Gets Buckets, and it's like the other one. You know, how, like they say like I'm him, or like he's him.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy
He's
is
that
Himmy,
guy.
yeah.
This is the Himmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Himmy Butler.
Yeah, unreal. No,
He's Michael Jordan's son.
apparently, that's the
Verified.
conspiracy.
Playmate. He's his son.
It's fact.
Has anyone seen the movie Air?
Nah. Oh, is that about Jordan?
About the signing of the contract, the Nike contract?
No, I haven't seen it. You seen
I'd
it?
recommend that, yeah.
What's streaming services on?
I think it's still in the movies, man.
new
I think
film.
it's old school.
You can probably watch it on Amazon though.
You'd be able to find it somewhere.
On Amazon. Well, I noticed now what they do with movies is they release them at the movies, but then they put them like within 4 weeks or something. They put them on the streaming service.
Yeah, it costs like $40.
But yeah, it costs like $25-$30.
The same as a ticket.
As a ticket. So because I actually saw this cool video that he was explaining like the change in how the movies work. So remember when we were kids, movies used to be at the movies for months.
They're massive.
Now it's quick turnover, 4 to 6 weeks, and they're out, and they're fucking. There'll be like another 4 to 6 weeks where they cost like $30, and then it will go down to like $5, and then it's
on
free.
there. Yeah.
And then it's usually, and then it'll go to.
I wonder how much that's impacted how much money they make. Like, is
Well,
like
they've gotta move with
are
the
the
times.
contracts for like, so like The Rock, is he getting less money now than he was 10 years ago? Do you reckon?
I don't think at that level, but maybe at the mid tier, it might have an effect. Because if it's a blockbuster like some Marvel movie or some shit, they're gonna break it in.
pay.
But if it's like
School
an
holidays.
okay movie that would do decent, like maybe then it's like, well, they don't have the same.
There was
pool.
also on that same video, a different video, there was why the movies will never go out of fashion.
Yeah.
Because it's a thing. And I like going to the movies. Seeing new movies. Like the last one I probably was that I really was G'd up to see was when Batman came out last year.
Yeah.
And you go
The
there.
Batman?
Huh?
The Batman.
The Batman, yeah. The new,
That was a bit psychological,
yeah,
sort
dark,
of
yeah,
twisty.
7. It was this
Really,
little
film noir.
Real
film noir.
Yeah, twisting.
It was
Yeah.
Taxi Driver /7 vibes was where the director got the inspiration from.
yeah.
It was mad.
The last one that I left, Avatar, was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good example. Avatar, they put all this effort into this. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the old one. CGI, like that at the movies, surround sound, big. You're just never going to recreate that at home.
Exactly,
On your
yeah.
16
I feel like you will though. Eventually, we'll have this fucking goggle that we go in and we're just like float tanking our way
to the
into
movies. It's going out.
Yeah,
you
there's
and your
something
partner.
about paying $38 for a bit of fucking popcorn and a choc top.
And $10 for a Coke Zero.
That is a
fucking stitch up.
That is that comfy. I'll fall asleep in the first 15 minutes anyway.
You fall asleep on the couch though.
Hey, $50
Yeah, I know,
for
I'm
that.
screwed wherever.
You're jammed either
For some
way.
reason, I find the ads at the start like enjoyable. I don't know why.
No, they're mad.
They're always
Bro,
good.
The ads are the best part.
Like people like, oh, it's
Not
like,
really.
no, I want to be there for the ads.
No,
it
I
just
wanna
feels
be there.
nostalgic.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
But they're
The ads
shorter
and
now.
the previews are such a G up.
And you never watch
I
any-
wanna watch
you
that.
never watch any of them.
I'm gonna watch
You never
that.
watch any of them.
watch it.
But
Never
it's just
watch it.
mad.
Yeah, it's so mad. Speaking of popcorn and chocolate, have you seen those Cobbs? You know the Cobbs lightly salted that popcorn?
I like that.
They've seen they brought one out. It's drizzled. It's like
what?
popcorn,
Drake.
but with like chocolate drizzled all over it.
I've tried those.
Got that Drake.
That's the Maltesers in the popcorn.
It's shit.
It's
Don't
shit.
get it. Yeah.
You tasted
yeah,
it for us?
you eat
Yeah.
it, and then the chocolate melts on your hand. It's just
good.
it's garbage. Garbage. Just
garbage.
chuck your Maltesers in the popcorn.
Easy, sorted.
Yeah.
Da bar.
Or stick to their standard Cobbs, lightly salted.
Yeah.
Thought I'd just throw that
I
in
like
there.
the butter one as well.
Which butter?
The Cobbs.
Cobbs.
Oh no, the cheddar.
Cheddar?
The cheddar one. Sorry,
That
not butter. Cheddar.
Butter and cheddar.
We do the microwave popcorn. Yeah.
I'm all for the microwave.
The Aldi one's good.
Poppin'?
It's salty as mad.
Yeah. Have you ever had a triple butter explosion?
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
good. Yeah, it's
A lot of butter.
It gets intense. You
It's
get
good.
about a quarter of the packet through, and it's like
good. Yeah, I think sharing a packet with a partner is good.
yeah.
One
Portions in that.
Yeah, one packet on your own gets hard.
It does get hard.
Lips get
It's-
dry.
I don't know. There's some texture, something it does to you. It's
Yeah.
just a bit of,
Lips get
you know
dry.
what I mean?
Chaffed.
Yeah.
Chaps lips.
Yeah.
So
But you don't get that burn. you get that burn from Hoyts. You get a
I
Hoyts
like
and you get a
Hoyts.
big one. You know,
But
I love it.
You need a Coke to go with it.
Oh, you need
A
2
big
Cokes, bro.
motherfucking Coke.
Yeah, and then you're out $60.
Like, despite them being extremely overpriced, there is something satisfying about like a liter fucking soft drink they give you there. Those
Oh,
cups,
it's mad.
those larges are huge.
They're
Like
huge.
I went to Five Guys in the city not long ago, and they had refills. I was like, oh, malaka. I haven't been to a place so you get your own refill in ages. Do Hungry Jacks still do refills?
I don't
Certain
think-
ones do.
Certain ones.
I had a recent
Must be
stop
that.
at a McDonald's that I don't normally frequent, and they had a refill machine.
No way.
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's.
I've never heard that.
On the way to Deakin, you know that little dip where the speed camera is?
Yeah, that one. Holmesglen.
Holmesglen. Yeah. They've got a refill machine there.
Yeah, right. That's amazing.
I went and bought a vacuum and then had a couple of chicken and cheeses.
Where'd you go, Harvey Norman? JB Hi-Fi
No, I
home?
went to Godfrey's.
I got
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it is, but
Vacuum cleaners, yeah.
That's all they do, man. They
Oh, just
specialize in
vacuums?
vacuum cleaners.
Respect.
Godfrey's. You got to go to the fucking dogs.
The best.
I got a funny story about
No, no,
Macca's the other
vacuums.
day. Chelsea Heights. The Edithvale one, Macca's. So I stopped. I frequently check the My Macca's app for what deals they got. There was a deal I couldn't refuse. $6.90 for a
get one.
small Big Mac meal with a cheeseburger. I was like, I'm getting that. I'm getting that. So anyway, I go
what?
$6.90 for a small Big Mac meal with a cheeseburger.
My God.
My Macca's app.
My Macca's app, and you get points and shit. I don't know what the
Downloading
points
it
are.
right now.
But I got them. I started doing it in lockdown. Deuce and I got, I don't know what, we played Monopoly. That's how bored we were in lockdown. We used to drive to Macca's, buy whatever we were getting, coffee, or get the Monopoly things and play Monopoly on the app, and then that's how it started.
Yeah.
Because we were very bored in lockdown. That was our event for the day. Anyway, so I get my meal. They fucked it up. They gave me the wrong thing. They gave me a double cheeseburger thing. So I go back inside, and I'm waiting there, and whatever. The lady was really nice, lovely. This guy comes next to me, this old Aussie guy, and everyone's ordering on the fucking touch machines.
I hate them.
Yeah, well, so does he. He looks at me and goes, can we order here or do we have to use those fucking things? I was just like, the way he said it was like the most fucking boomer Aussie, just like, fuck the technology. It was just fucking hilarious. And I was just
Man.
like, yeah, I think you can. Order
Oh,
here.
no, respect to him. They suck. I
they
feel
shit.
like every time I've used those things.
Fuck it up.
No, not even I fuck it up. They always run out of paper.
Oh,
They
Yeah.
always run out of every single time you use that. They run out of paper or they print it. I've used them. Don't worry, I'm no
Fuck the
stranger
robots,
to
man.
to a McDonald's.
I've seen iRobot. Fuck the robots.
Yeah, no.
The Coles
Hey,
near
I
my
was starting
house.
to whip me out,
It's
bro.
it's mad because it's 24 hours. It's just cool. It's a cool little.
Which one?
Burwood, near the Kmart there. But
Yeah, that whole complex is 24 hours.
Yeah.
Kmart's
Even the
24
fucking
hours.
China bar is. But
Yeah.
they've gone like, it's almost like full self-serve. They have like the service desk if you want to get like ciggies or whatever. But then all the
Getting
checkouts, it's like a full belt, but you just walk through yourself. And then they have like a couple staff patrolling it. There's like no checkout chicks. It's crazy.
Oh, imagine being the staff patrolling that. I'd just rather serve someone.
Yeah.
That'd be so
Yeah.
boring.
For sure. Just fucking.
The
like security
Macca's,
guard.
the graveyard shift in Macca's would be fucking hard.
When I used to
not
go
like
through
the
Macca's
overnight
drive-through
one,
on the
yeah.
way to work, like when I used to do the early shifts, I mean, I still do them, but like on the Eastlink, I just think these poor cunts, it's like fucking 5:30. They've been here all night, like tough.
They'd be grinding, bro. Respect the hustle.
We can respect hustle
That's a tough shift.
for sure.
He's him.
The 10 p.m. till 6 a.m.
He's
at Macca's.
Himmy Butler.
Jimmy
Butler.
Butler.
He wouldn't complain. He wakes up at 3 a.m.
Fuck that.
That's impressive.
He would do whatever he needs to. Yeah.
You know what I didn't realise? I listened to the Howie. I told you the Howie games. Fitzgerald's Ryan Fitzgerald. How early they have to get up for breakfast radio?
Like 4 a.m.?
Yeah, really early.
3:45. He was getting up.
Really
and started
early.
at Nova.
Well, what time do they start? Like 5:30? 5?
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I was just never
Say a
thought of
commute.
that. I was like,
Fucking-
But they did say the benefit of working on radio is they rock up wearing whatever the fuck they want.
True.
Just roll in. Whereas,
Yeah.
So Mark, the host of the podcast, Mark Howard, he's worked in both sports commentary on TV and radio, and he's like, yeah, radio you rock up in thongs and whatever. TV you got to rock up 2 hours before makeup,
Makeup and all that, yeah.
all that shit.
At least you don't have to wake up at
It's a
3
fun
a.m.
fact.
though. Although, imagine those like morning shows.
And then how about us,
Yeah.
man? We got on a podcast, it's video, you can still wear whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I know. Podcast, it's good. It's
good life, mate.
It's good life. Well, no, Fitzy and Whippa are on. You can, so they're on the radio. Fitzy and Whippa are on the radio, but they've got the podcast too.
Australian radio is unreal. This is days. Well, mate, Howie, Fitzy, Whippa,
Fitzy and Whippa. Yeah, well, they use their nicknames, don't they? You see the billboards, it's like breakfast with fucking Fev fucking.
Fifi.
Fifi Boxmart.
Fifi and Fev.
Fifi, Fev and Brownie.
Brownie's got a podcast too with
he?
Campbell Brown, and I think it's called Brownies or something. Some shit like that.
Man, I wonder what Kyle Sandlands is up to. He's still going, isn't he?
He's still going. He's worth fucking millions.
Is he still like considered the scum of the earth? Like everyone fucking.
Every
hates
now
him,
and then
though.
he'll say something
He'll
like
say something ridiculous. Like he'll
I-
just comment on someone's weight. Like they come
Yeah,
on,
I just wonder how much of it all is a character. They
100%
become
it is,
this person, and then that they know it gets traction, and they just it's a.
I think so.
Is he really like that in real life? Probably.
See, it's funny because a lot of people like they had like the just TV presenters. They have this arc. Like, do you remember Dicko from Australian Idol?
Yeah, Ian
like he had
Dickinson.
an arc. Like he was a prick for years.
Yeah.
and then he had this turnaround. It's like, oh, Dicko's fucking lovable.
Spiritual
Same with Simon
awakening.
Cowell. Simon Cowell as
Yeah.
well. He was that wanker, just
Yeah.
like that wanker, and he just had this arc.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
He's on the
I'd rather claw my eyes out than listen to that again. Like just the most painful insults.
And like Marsha Hines, just like super loving, just like super supportive no matter
It's
what.
the good
Oh,
cop, man.
Who was the
Mark
touchdown?
Holden. Bro, I watched with Cam the other night. We watched the not the other night. It was months ago. We watched Anthony Kalia, The Prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to watch that whole 10-minute video, it's
good.
Of like the lead up into it, like they have the makeup artists, like the fashion,
The story.
the stylists and stuff like that, and leading into it. Early 2000s Australia is unbelievable.
Australian Idol.
I think
It
was
is
like
just
04.
Australia full stop. Just watching how they dress and talk and everything else. In the moment, I thought the touchdown. I thought Mark Holden improvised that shit, but
It was scripted.
it was definitely scripted. You could watch it, and it was definitely maybe I don't know if
that the
Kalia.
first
Man, they had,
touchdown?
of course it was scripted. They had a bloody image that popped up behind.
but the
them.
first one.
I think
The
I was
first
like
one.
8 the first time I watched it, and I'm like, oh my god, he's
pulling up the touchdown.
What the fuck is it?
TV's all scripted. Yeah, it's all scripted.
As you'll be finding out soon.
No, well, I went on that show last week. I was
You
in
did,
the audience,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I realized because every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, the crowd's so engaged. They coached them to do that. The guy come out.
Isn't there a comedian that comes out?
Yeah, he comes out. He literally, and now I pick up on it. You can hear him on the side just because but they've got certain responses for certain things on the show, and they G you up. Even when I went to Deal or No Deal, it was the same. They used to retake bits like, "No, we've got to do that again." Do you think it's all natural and like it's fucking?
Did you get sucked into the G ups?
You have to. You there's only 30 people. They got G you up.
So
what would he
if
say?
Someone says something. Did they go say like, "Oh, give us an like that"?
Nah, so there's
Sort of
certain
thing?
responses with like one segment that Andrew Gaze does where the crowd says "Turn it up" and they
that's so lame.
They make you do it.
So what did you have to do? So I'll
What'd
be
you
Andrew
say,
Gaze.
mate? Yeah,
I'll
go
be
on.
Andrew Gaze, and then you respond with what. Hey,
You
all
can
right,
watch it.
Turn me up.
No, not turn me up. He'll say, "What do we say?" And the crowd
Oh,
goes,
sorry. All right. So what do we say?
I'm not doing it.
up.
Turn it up.
Did you do that with your hands as well?
Fucking do that.
Oh, God.
Pistols, mate.
How good's footy?
Yeah, that was good footy.
Gazy, Howie, Fitzy, Fifi.
Nah, it's fucking, yeah, it was good. It's good. It's all scripted. That's the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever you think
Anyway.
is real, it's all fucking fake.
The prayer was still iconic. Like you couldn't script that.
One of my
The performance is iconic.
Anthony
Everything
Clear,
around it's scripted.
Yeah,
Like
but
the touchdown.
That'll never detract. Even the touchdown being scripted, it'll never. That was the first touchdown ever.
Anthony Kalia, the prayer.
Anthony Clear, the prayer was. That was
Apparently
the
he's
first
a bit
touchdown
annoyed
ever.
because they this year in the Australian Idol they were using the touchdown. He's like, that's fucking my thing.
Mark Holden.
Yeah.
Who used it?
I think they were using it in Australian Idol this
Who's the thing? Is it Brian McFadden or whatever the fuck? What is it on the
year. I
force?
don't even know who half
Delta
the
Goodrum's
judges
ex.
were.
What's his name?
Brian McFarlane,
I don't know, something. He's like,
Honestly-
the blonde UK guy.
yeah.
Who were the fucking judges? I don't even know who half the judges. One of the I was like, who the fuck are you? And when I heard her songs, I had no idea.
Turn it up.
What was it? X Factor. One of them. Danny Minogue ruined careers. Danny Minogue.
Minogue.
Her song selection, she just didn't get it.
I used to be in love with Danny Minogue.
Really?
Yeah, when I was
Kylie
like
Minogue.
15.
Danny Minogue's just like a shitter version of Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue's got a mad
She shouldn't
song.
have been famous.
What's it called?
yeah.
What was it called?
Because
Better
of
than
Kylie.
Devil, you know?
Better than the Devil You Know.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
song.
a big track.
Yeah, big one.
I just want to go back to like Australian Idols and American Idols and stuff.
get you out of my
I have this thing every couple of years. I just get like all consumed by it. But watching people's auditions,
No, they're the best.
there is currently a guy called Iam, like William, but it's just Iam.
Iam.
His name's William, but it's IAM. Iam
That's
Tongi. Tongi, I think is how you say it. It's a D, but it makes a T sound. Tongi. I think that's how you say it. He explained it once, but anyway, he is the best person ever from an audition. Like from a
That's a big call.
Is there because of backstory?
Everything.
Is it his execution?
go on all of his videos on Thingo. So when you go to YouTube, American Idol, and go popular, he's got like the top 5.
How many times he's auditioned?
He's currently in it. No, like he's currently
It's all
contestant.
his- they'll have every.
He is
Every
swamping
performance,
everyone.
yeah.
All of his things are getting like 15 million plays.
turned
Everyone
it up.
else is at like 26,000, and it's just Iam's fucking. He's unreal.
Ian
Yeah.
turned it
It's a
up.
big thing.
Next big thing, big time.
Turned it up.
Turn it up. I think that needs to become a segment. where we-
No, you can't steal their segment.
Someone stole the touchdown. We can fucking take the turn it up.
Yeah.
steal it.
And you're the one who
Very
stole it.
Daisy.
You
I
brought it
actually
to
reckon
us.
I've been listening to a few podcasts lately. I think we need some segments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Got
one of
any
the
ideas?
segments is overrated, underrated. I reckon that could become a segment.
Do that.
Yeah, I think a couple segments just to throw it in.
Piss Didier off.
Yeah, Didier's rant.
No. Here's the thing: you can't script Anthony Kalea. You
We
can't.
can. We're now
script-
TV.
Nah,
Yeah, it's
we've
all
gotta-
fake, man.
It's organic. No, you can't script it. It's
No,
gotta be
like
spur of the moment.
We wouldn't script it. Maybe we could script.
Oh, you can't tell me. I need to be.
Tell
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this will
We
be
know
good.
we'll turn you up, and then you just go from
Yeah,
there.
we'll turn him on.
Yeah.
That's very possible.
Yeah,
That might
come over
happen.
here.
Maybe this episode. We'll
Well,
see.
if you're listening and you're a loyal listener, let us know what segments you'd like us to create. I'm down for segments.
Yeah, for sure.
2 segments.
I think that'd be mad.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
like
Anyone
with,
gets
like,
a chance. Mahalia from X Factor.
Mahalia.
X Factor. Danny Minogue ruined her shit song collection.
Deuce goes down a different rabbit hole. She watches fucking Greek ones.
Greek auditions.
Greece, yeah.
Fame story.
One of her, I don't know who it is. She used to sing at Vanilla. She auditioned in Greek, The Voice.
Oh yeah, I used to go to Greek school with
Yeah,
her.
Deuce knows her. Something.
Yeah, yeah,
Their
yeah.
Does she
family
do well?
friends,
Wait, she's from
some
here?
shit. So she's from here, speaks obviously fluent Greek, but apparently the judges picked up that her voice wasn't a native.
Wow.
Even though her Greek, it's just like, I don't know, they're probably trained.
Bit of twang in
A
there.
bit of a
it.
twang.
But
No,
she's
there's
fine.
just,
Did she fake a citizenship?
no, that she's
Doesn't
got
allow
she obviously has an Australian accent and they could hear that in her voice.
Really?
Just, yeah. It was interesting.
That's unreal.
Even though when you hear her speak Greek, it's fucking way better than fucking anything I could.
yeah,
fucking do.
that's discrimination.
Yeah, discrimination. I don't know. I've actually thought about that, like these topics that come up, like with like identity politics, all that shit that because we're very influenced with America and stuff. Like how those other countries, because when you speak a different, their world would just be different.
What?
What's the point you're trying to make here?
Like their views,
They're not globalized.
their culture, their beliefs.
It's because they don't speak English. They don't count.
No, not that they just speak English, but like say French, Greek, like anything, any language, any country, their views around the world would be completely different
True.
That is true.
compared to the shit we talk about.
But they're still westernized. They would be battling the same sort of political ideas would still be battled
Have
within
you ever watched
their
Greek politics?
100%.
No, I haven't.
Bro, they're way worse.
That's what I'm saying.
They've got like far right, like
That's
at
what I'm
the
saying.
Top, but
The stuff that triggers us here and stimulates conversation within the media would be completely different over there.
I don't know.
I think it'll be very similar.
You're
I
gonna be
think
similar.
I think
never
it'll
know.
be similar in different. Like
Well, they're all westernized countries.
What about
Yes and no though. I think
what about like Korea?
like
it'll be a bias that shifts.
Actually,
Like-
didn't Didier study politics?
drop out. I agree with Charlie though. This isn't my fucking expert opinion, but I do think that like Australia, Canada, like the UK, America, all probably have a little bit
bias.
more in similar. But then you go to some of these more like these European countries who aren't as influenced by the West.
Yeah, like
Firstly, they're not English speaking. There'd just be different like cultures and views that we might not think. Like something here that may be seen a bit left of center or a bit out there for there is just like normal stuff.
Standard.
like even the masculine, feminine languages, like how they view female males, like whereas like that for us now in Australia, America's a very big thing where
It might not
the
even be.
equality side of things,
Yeah.
like viewing all of us as the same, we fucking all get the same. Like how is that different? Because they have this very divided in their language. It's divided, like the masculine and like how they view the world. For
sure.
Shit, I think about.
You're a fucking.
But then, as you
pioneer,
said, once
bro.
again, maybe in
My
Asia it's
philosopher.
different again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Philosopher Moz and
What was it? What was your own Chocrates?
We're gonna bring that can be a new segment. Charlie just riffs in
what's Chocrates been
Socrates.
thinking?
Also, I've been thinking about the West and like
the West and the East.
and like politics.
Yeah.
So
what way does the wind breeze in that area?
in the show Beef, it's obviously set with it's Asian American, so they're
Piss myself.
Asian.
I'm genuinely. I'm genuinely.
Because of laughter, or you need to
Just
piss?
a bit of combo. Combo meal deal. Combo meal deal.
Combo.
Get that Big Mac.
Beef, the show Beef, Big Mac. It's Asian immigrants in America. So the kids are Americanized, but there was a saying that Western medicine doesn't work on Eastern minds. And I really liked that because he said it a few times in the show, and I really liked that.
Have you seen that KO ad
Which one?
where the two Asian kids get a KO subscription?
They're like, what is
For
it?
free? Like, oh, what did mum get? And then like 6 months on, they got a mullet, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, fucking.
Mullet, footy.
They got
yeah.
Pendlebury's fucking slotted at 50 or some shit like that.
No, I like that ad.
Did they actually give him a mullet?
So yeah.
Oh.
Both kids have got a mullet, and then they've gone from like, what the fuck is this? Like sports.
Yeah.
And then they're big footy fans speaking
Footy
in
fans,
accents.
mullet, wearing the colours, fucking sweat, like, I kick it down the guts, like, shit, like, yeah, or whatever. That's
Speaking of some like different views and stuff like that around the world, I watched that Korean show, Physical 100.
Yeah.
It was like a contest of like just different physical tasks. There was like some like kind of like grappling. They did like speed-based stuff, strength-based stuff.
the
lots
sand,
of different
the sand
challenges.
one, the sand
But
challenge.
the big
So they're
thing-
on the trend of hybrid training.
Oh, 100%, bro. But it was cool because they got all these different athletes. Like some were bodybuilders, like, Olympic athletes, people who are like
Military.
just all these different people who like excel in their field to work out who the best or the best physique or the best person across, all these different tasks was.
So Korean CrossFit.
In a way, yeah.
it was
But
a-
what was funny though is that like you definitely see, and maybe it's a show, maybe this isn't the best representation of them as a country, but compared to like a westernized, whether that's an Australian or American game show, essentially. On an American one, it'll be like, yeah, I'm the fucking greatest. I'm gonna smash all these people. Like there'd be a few of them. There'd be a few of them that are like that would talk themselves up. But in their battle, they'd all be very respectful with each other. They'd go at it each other, but then they'd congratulate each other. They'd praise the other person. It was very like, I'm good, but also like I'm also gonna like consider that other people are good, and like I'm not gonna gas myself up too much. Like, oh, I did okay. Like I think it's just different. Whereas otherwise, like America, baby, I'm the greatest. I will smash everybody.
Yeah, well, maybe that's just something about
What's up?
Korea's medal
I think
count versus
Eastern-
USA. If they had that different mindset, maybe they'd win
maybe
more.
that's the kicker.
Eastern culture definitely has a more of a collective.
Yeah,
Whereas Western's very
individual. Yeah, for sure.
very much
vibes.
Chocrates.
powerlifters.
Vibes.
You can always see those characters with what's the ninja show?
Yeah, that's
Ninja Warrior.
They're like standing there on the first event, and they're like, "My name's Ben, and I'm the best there's ever been."
And I love it when they bail on the first. Always, it's the dickhead that goes the hardest. Always bails on the freaking first one. It's unreal. What a
I had
show.
a thought about that. It was like, imagine, so I get cast on Survivor and I get like the equivalent of white line fever. And I just get on there and I like become this like egoic, like I'm the fucking best, I'm going to win it. Like it just does something inside.
It's like what's that prison experiment they did? Like you just become the character.
Stanford
Like,
prison experiment.
That's a mad movie.
That's crazy when you're given the power. Fucking.
maybe what happened to you when you get
That was a real experiment.
what's that item? Immunity?
Immunity idol.
What's
Yeah.
with the maybe when you get the idol, it'll all
yeah.
change.
It all changes.
You've been brushing up on your survivor knowledge.
Stanford prison.
I actually reckon you're going to be in it.
Oh, we'll see. It's up to the universe. I did it and now I'm fucking out in the universe. It's up to the fucking. Well,
I'll tell you what,
the wind will bring
your
me the-
video was a bit of a jab.
It was a good video.
I need to watch it. I haven't watched
I'll
it
show
yet.
you. They've all
Yeah.
seen it. I've only shown a few people. You guys, you'll watch it after. Deuce obviously saw it, and I showed Ash. Ash wanted to see it.
Fucking
But I'm keeping it pretty private. I'm going to keep it in the circle. And I showed my mum and my sister.
Who else? Yeah.
I got a big circle. I got a big circle, but I'm not.
I've only shown about 38 people.
I'm not showing. No, I'm not showing it. Many other people. You're the last one.
Maybe throw it in the Discord.
Maybe my dad.
I'm not throwing it, brother.
Throw it in the Discord.
And your dad. No, I'm not throwing it in the Discord. Yeah, fuck the Discord. No, I'm not putting it in. I said fuck the Discord. I didn't mean it fuck the Discord. I like the Discord. I said fuck putting it in the Discord. That was a
Do you want to dig yourself a bigger hole?
Keep going, mate. Keep going.
You look at that idle in
He's
room
already playing the heel now. The heel of us.
That's
Been
what
a
man,
heel
the
on
White Line
Survivor.
Fever's starting.
He's rehearsing.
I'm rehearsing. The universe. Up to the universe. It was like Brooke. Do you know Brooke Jowett?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she played it. She's played it twice now. Played
Oh,
it
yeah?
twice. Yeah.
Oh, Joey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's just a friend. One of those high school friends, sort of.
Friends of a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Well, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, we were friends with her in high school. I was.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, Joey.
What I'm saying is, it could happen. It
could happen.
It can
I reckon you'll be on
happen.
there.
She's on there now.
Discord?
She's on the podcast too, talking tribal.
What is talking tribal?
I might get on the. I might play it.
Let's move on.
I'm that good. Then I get invited back for like a Heroes, Villains, All Stars because I'm fucking a heavy. And then they're like, oh, this guy can talk. It's good. Let's get him on. What's going on here? Let's get him on.
Went from
talking
out of the
tribal.
universe to like, oh, man, oh, you're getting
Played out his next 5 years.
No,
And then I'm on Talking Tribal.
What is talking tribal?
I'm
It's their,
done Survivor.
it's their podcast that they obviously analyse the.
I reckon this is your way to get on morning radio.
episodes.
You've got to. You've got
And then on morning radio,
Yeah.
and then boy, this just fucking blows up. I planned it out.
It'll be on Ather Smith, Vesulio, and fucking Boozy. That'll be our 101.9
At 6 a.m. on your drive home.
Oh, we'll get to wake up at 3 in the morning, whatever the fuck I want.
Oh, I got it all comes full circle.
What will our nicknames?
Turn me up. Turn me up.
What would our names be on morning radio?
Smithy. Smithy. I'll be Bowser. I'll be a big boozer.
Smith,
Fucking hell.
Smithy did love booze and Chaz on morning radio.
There'd be a segment that it's literally like fire Didier up. The diddler. We're gonna get the diddler. I'll tell you what, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, Smithy.
There's a little diddler.
Donnie, is my mic on? I'm gonna pop.
So I
How
planned
the
it
fuck
out.
did we get here? Holy
I planned
shit.
it out.
And we just talk about politics.
Talk about
Global affairs and politics.
Yeah, I wonder what Pakistan thinks of the vaccine.
Talking about Australian politics. Fuck,
Debt.
that'd be so boring.
The debt cycle.
How about that RBA?
Apparently, so this is what I was saying, like little niches. And when my mum worked at the legal firm back at, I won't name them, but she worked there for a long time.
Name him.
I'm not naming it. I won't. I'll keep it private. But so lawyers are apparently really into fucking maybe not our age lawyers, but lawyers fucking that are 50 or whatever, really into Australian politics.
Of course they would.
It would make a lot of sense if they were. You'd really
Like
hope
they
so.
love it. Like that's what they talk about in the morning.
Oh,
Like, that's
politics.
morning conversation is fucking who got the fucking 47th chair in the fucking right atrium. I don't know why atrium.
You say Pauline rocked the Burka the other day?
Pauline has done some wild shit.
That's got to be scripted, or she's an idiot.
Nah, she knows what she's doing. She 100% knows what she's doing.
She scripted it.
Scripted by herself.
She just rocked up with a burger. She's like, gotcha.
It's me.
It's me. That is so far.
Why did you want to get into politics? All right, we'll skip that.
No. Okay. All right.
Down.
All right.
Oh my God.
It's got to sound really like
Give us
fucking.
the story.
It's got to sound really self-righteous and like cringe. But
I wanted to change the world.
because I wanted to have a positive impact. Like, but
What's wrong with that?
yeah, but it's just saying that. Look, okay. Once again, I think we've come to this point at times in podcasts when I have to speak highly of myself. There's something there. I think I need therapy, but
We all do.
because just
Everyone-
me,
no,
just
everyone
me,
needs therapy.
Everyone needs therapy.
Just me
It's too
saying
bloody
that. I'm like,
expensive.
oh, I don't want to.
That rebate,
These
mate.
bloody waiting times. I swear to God.
No, the waiting times are crazy, but
I
no.
actually don't know that.
And
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Bro, $250 a pop.
Gee.
Well, think about the people that.
And you're going to get 6 of them in a year or whatever.
All right, I won't do it then.
If you need...
No, go. They're mad. Go to therapy. Therapy's cool.
therapy.
But I'm not. Yeah, I think.
The
yeah.
iron's my therapy. But anyway.
yeah, the barbell's my therapy.
Go to war with my thoughts.
Oh God, I hate that whole thing.
No, it's good. We've got a mantra. And we started it last week. It was just like there was 6 blokes training. And just, push them down, boys.
Yeah.
Push the feelings down.
Bottle them up. Repress them up.
Repress them feelings.
Bottle them up, boys.
Oh, like the good old days.
That's it.
Back when men were men. Like,
Yeah, it's because we're all low test now.
Yeah, I know.
low
I got ripped
test.
for drinking tea the other day.
Man, that's pretty low test.
Yeah, I know. I was
It's like coffee or nothing.
I'm drinking. I'm trying to rate my caffeine intake down. I enjoyed a tea before bed, and I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Doesn't tea still have caffeine though?
Nah,
Depends. You have decaf tea.
You get herbal teas like
herbal
peppermint
ones.
and shit like that.
I had a tea the other night
Yeah, tea too.
Yeah, you would.
Anyway, Didier, why'd you want to change the world?
because I'm low test.
Because I'm just a good person, and I'm just driven by virtuous fucking pursuits, and that's it.
So what happened?
but
You
then
became
you-
a
what do you
street
think?
coach and
What do you
got-
think I'm? What do you think
became
I'm
a
doing this
nihilist.
podcast
You're
for?
probably
bro?
helping more people now.
No.
You're having a positive impact now on people's health and fitness.
I'd like to think I'm having a positive impact, but also I didn't help anyone because I didn't
But
enter
then,
the field, so I
did you
didn't
get
have
to
a
the
chance.
point where you realise that politics is all corrupt anyway? It's like,
I knew that from the get go, but I didn't want to be. I never wanted to be like in a political.
You wanted
party.
to be
like,
the
it's like,
change.
I wanted to work like in like policy or some shit like that. Whatever. But like,
Imagine
that's
Didier
beside the point.
being the
gun laws in
premier.
America. Like they can't, like, no, even if if someone wanted to change that, they couldn't because they'll get voted out.
What I'd say is though, I think like there are challenges in the world, gun laws being one of them, and if collectively everyone's really like, oh, what's the point? Like that's just not a. It's not as much as yes, there are challenges. As a society, we should be, have the opinion that something that's difficult to change still deserves a conversation or deserves effort. Because maybe you'll never change it, but it's like, fuck, why don't we just throw our hands up and roll over there if
Yeah,
that's the case?
exactly.
Like,
'Cause you'd have the same
it's
for
just too
everything.
hard. Or just like maybe years ago.
So when
maybe
did you
like,
give up?
Oh, bro, fucking semester one. Nah. But no, yeah, exactly. Maybe I gave up. No, it's fine. That was a good one. It was a good one. But yeah, just without, like, you think about, like in the civil rights times, if for them to get through that was extremely difficult. That could be like, oh, what's the point, man? It's never going to change. But then, like, the world doesn't progress, and that's obviously not a good thing. So even if there's a big scary problem, like, it's got to start with a conversation, which is why we have this podcast.
Yeah,
change of fitness.
We're
for
the
better.
starting point. We're the butterfly effect.
We're going to change the world through this fucking
Butterfly
podcast.
effect. That's it.
That's it. Once Charlie gets on Survivor,
That's
we're
it,
going
bro.
to create the change.
We've
we
got a
wanna see in the
plan.
world.
That's it.
Talking tribal.
What's it called?
Tribal.
Talkback Radio.
Talking
We're
tribal.
going to change the world.
That's our new goal.
What?
To get a slot on Talkback Radio on an AM channel.
Yeah, at like midnight when no everyone's asleep. Like,
What's the radio equivalent of Channel 31? We could get on Triple R or something.
I actually don't know much about radio.
Yeah, Triple R, man.
Triple R.
Kiss FM, play house music.
Here's your latest track from David Guetta.
No, but on David Guetta, Jesus. No, you got to speak on in real hushed tones. It's Triple R, yeah, don't you? That's what
I don't think Triple
Maybe
R.
Triple J?
No, Triple R's a thing. Triple
There's a lot
R.
of triples.
No, Triple R's one of them. PBS is another. Like
I was
Triple.
thinking
They're all
PBS.
like community.
Why do
It's
they
in the
triple it?
community. Triple.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Better
There's
than
also Double J.
Double J.
There is a double J.
Double J.
But no, not on those ones. On those more community ones, you can't speak with any expression in your voice. So today we're gonna listen to this interpretive, and they just like it, and then the song starts playing.
That's it.
That's it. They just dribble off, and it's like the song was mad. They'll come back and that was an absolute belter.
You've been listening to PBS 106.7. But then it's the complete opposite. Like on like fucking the Fox or whatever, like, welcome back to Fitzy and Whippa. Like, it's just the complete opposite. Like,
Fitzy and Whippa. It was actually, honestly, it was very interesting listening to Fitzy talk about that, though.
I should listen to it.
What Whipper?
No, talking about his journey through obviously having a fucked footy career with injuries and then going, literally how he decided, someone just said, you should apply for Big Brother. You got the personality. And then from there, just fucking snowballed. Now
He's funny.
he's massive. Obviously, he was a funny bloke and someone said apply. He got on and then, from there, just fucking ended up radio and
crazy.
Has
now
run it
now
for
he's
15
now
years.
he's a star. He's been doing it for 20 years.
Do you think you're too Greek to make it to the mainstream radio?
Mate, we're in a day now of ethnic diversity.
I don't know.
reckon Greek
Australian
goes in my
media is still
favour.
pretty
know.
white. Like it's still pretty like Aussie.
Pretty white.
Aussie.
Well, actually, speaking of white, another one I'm listening to Howie Games is Usman Khawaja. In the cricket team. And just listening to his battles with racism through obviously a very white Australian cricket team and even some of the stuff that he has still experienced today was pretty cool. He was on the Howie Games. So it's a fucking podcast, mate. Some good interviews. But Usman Khawaja, yeah, good. That's another name for the charger.
What?
For the
Like
what?
like a phone
Yeah,
charger.
put my phone on Usman
rhyme
Khawaja.
slang.
That's real Aussie. Aussie slang.
Hey, where's the Usman Khawaja?
Yeah,
You got it?
yeah.
It's like dead horse
Really?
for sauce. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apples and pears.
Khawaja.
Stairs. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Down the old frog and toad.
That's real Aussie slang. Fucking.
That is. All right.
Yeah.
It's like chalk. People ask where chalk comes from.
Chocolate frog.
Chocolate frog.
That's where the
Wog.
Chocolate frog is wog.
Wog.
Chalk.
Look at all these fucking chocolate frogs. That's probably where it started, like back in the day.
Exactly.
Probably.
Probably.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
That was for the subtle racists.
That's it.
Yeah.
The refined ones.
They don't want to drop the W word.
These chocolate frogs.
Freddos.
You can just say chalk. We're done. If you're interested in coaching, DM the coaches.
If you want to get us on radio,
If you're interested in
If you've got a prime time slot on a radio show that you want filled for an hour, we're happy to sit
people
in.
still listening to this?
Absolutely, people are still listening to this. if you're still listening at 58 minutes on this episode, we'd love to see you in the Discord. Jump in there, let us know your thoughts.
I'd like to take you out for a nice lunch.
I always like.
Thank you.
I do like when I see in the Discord someone answers or does something that we spoke about in the podcast.
No, the
'Cause I'm
podcast,
like,
the day after the podcast upload is the most active the
love
Discord
Discord.
gets. Absolutely. Other than push, pull, run. Like the trend of hybrid training has been probably the biggest felt sort of community thing I think we've ever done. I don't think we've ever had
the push pull run's having a good, really
back to push pull run for a second. I know I said we're just wrapping up, but we've secured a track. So if you're competing in push pull run, we will be on an athletics track.
Yep.
So
we couldn't not do it on athletics. I just think with Duncan McKinnon, he's the hills, and it's just the 4 laps, man. You just know, and we've got to have the bell.
Yeah.
Get a bell.
Ding ding ding. All right,
bell.
good.
For the last lap.
For the last lap.
Oh. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you can't count to 4.
Hey, you never know. You might be in that fucking state.
Mate, I'm gonna be dark mode.
Dark mode.
Dark
Wizard.
mode. Just
Jimmy Butler mode.
Wizard.
yeah. I'm
Yo,
gonna.
dog. There's gonna be a few dogs out
We're
there.
just running in laps. I'm him.
I'm here.
I'm going to be yelling.
You know, you're gonna hear me and you just
Yeah.
it's in you.
me
Turn me up.
It's within him.
me running an 8-minute fucking mile. Yeah, let's fucking go.
I'm so excited for that last lap.
It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be a great day. But yeah, if you're interested in coaching, damn the boys. If you're feeling like you're a bit like, what am I doing with my training? Not feeling inspired. Reach out. We're here to help. We can help you. We've all been through it. You're not alone.
We can make an impact.
5 stars on Spotify.
We can change the world together.
Get us to 10,000 on YouTube. We're so close. Share the channel. That will help us as well. And hoodies drop Wednesday night, which was yesterday.
In the
Bad luck.
past.
They're sold out.
out. You missed out.
We'll see you next week. We'll see you next week.